Okay, welcome everyone to this week's Edge Mastermind call. My name is Janet Marquez. I'm a diamond in the Edge team, and I'm so excited to be leading this call today. I also have Kristen York. She is a platinum in the Edge team. She's in our organization, and I am so excited to have her helping me today. One of the reasons why I have her helping me today is because it's 2 years ago, I believe, wasn't it, Kristen, when you hit platinum for the first time? Or was it a year ago? At any rate, at this time, it was right before leadership. That's what's really happening right now is we all have a lot of people that are trying to qualify to go to leadership. This is the last month that you can qualify. And it's a really exciting time. Everyone, especially where we have just about a week and a half left to do that. So I'm sure you guys are all buzzing and all wondering, looking at your volumes and seeing how that was, and I remember the first time that Kristen had gone platinum. It was my experience. She had been reading the Jackrabbit Factor, and she told everyone that she was going to hit platinum before leadership, and we were all like, "Oh, really? Wow, that's a big deal. Wow, Kristen, you go." And her husband Nathan were both just so sure that they were going to do it, and I was saying, well, I hope so, but we'll see how that goes. And it was this month. It was the month of January that Kristen, by the end of the month, and Nathan were both platinum, and it was really inspiring to me. And it was the very next month that we pushed for diamond because of the example that Kristen had set. And so I know how powerful this time and that incentive of leadership can be. And I know a lot of you are, I'm sure, in that space. And so I am excited for you to be able to have Kristen as well and I leading this call to answer any questions, and anybody else on this, all the other leaders on this mastermind. So with that being said, I want to open it up to you guys. My first question is there anyone on this call that is looking at leadership in the qualification month and really looking at your numbers? Who are you guys, and what are you going for? What rank is it that you are praying for and looking for and hoping for and working for? And so the first question, that's the question, is what rank are you wanting to be by before leadership for the end of this month? And why? Why are the reasons? And so I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Kristen is going to be managing, so she's going to say your name and unmute you. And go ahead and tell us what you're going for and why.
So just press star 5 to raise your hand. We'd love to hear what rank you're headed for. Okay, we have Virginia Hume.
Go ahead, Virginia.
And I just had one of my leaders go silver yesterday for the second leg, and I'm really excited that happened. And so I'll be supporting the others and specifically helping this one leader that I have for her to go silver in February and start working on the pieces and the parts and working diligently with her every single week on chats. But by doing this, by going platinum, it's the blessing to helping others use the oils more effectively in their home and getting them their wholesale and feel like they're being supported. And I just enjoy helping people.
Oh my goodness. So Virginia, did you just say that you just hit platinum?
No, that's what I'm going towards. Okay. I had one of my legs go silver that I had been working diligently for the past couple of years. It's Amish. And that was all organic. And so the volume is way past what silver would be. Multiply it a couple times. But, that's what works for them.
That is awesome. Awesome. Okay, we have a few other people who have raised their hands. And so let me get to, thank you so much for that comment. I feel your excitement, Virginia. Beautiful. That is amazing, amazing. So Janet, are you back with us? Okay, I'm coming to Wanda Thomas. Okay. Wanda, what rank are you headed for?
I am headed for silver, and my goal is to reach it by the end of January and go to leadership in Orlando in March. And the reason why is I'm just sick and tired of missing out. And I've done a lot of personal growth and soul searching for my purpose and why I'm doing this. And I have learned that to let go of a lot of things that I had crammed down inside me and really focusing on loving people more, helping people more. And it's just, my business has taken such a great turn, and it's just, I feel like my business is like firecrackers right now. It's just like popping, 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 and everything's just so simple.
Wow, that's amazing. So you mentioned that you had to let go of some things. So explain on your journey to silver, what are the things that are important and have been important for you to let go?
As part of my personal growth, a year ago, I thought I was ready to go silver, and I just couldn't figure out why things weren't happening, why people couldn't see, and why people couldn't want doTERRA. And so I began to just searching in my personal self, and I found a lot of things that I just needed a lot of emotional healing and a lot of things that I had suppressed and hadn't dealt with, that I had been just carrying around this emotional baggage. So I've done a lot of emotional healing, and rose oil has been my lifesaver for helping me emotionally and physically. And it's just making such a tremendous change. I've just had a huge shift in my life, and really, really emotions has been my big change.
Okay, so emotional healing. So do you mind if I get a little bit more personal with you, Wanda?
Oh, please do. Please do.
Okay, so specifically, what kind of emotions? So Rose has been really great. So what kind of emotions over this last year when you were like, yes, going silver, and then you were like, boom, 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 against all these emotions? What are they? Or you can just mention one or two even.
Okay, I had limiting beliefs, and I think it was just fear of just picking up the phone and calling people, afraid of what they were going to say to me, afraid of how they were going to respond. And I had some personal hurt within me, just personal, that I thought I had dealt with a couple of years ago. And so I just had to learn to accept that that was the past and I couldn't change the past. And I had to let go of that guilt that I had, that fear of failure that I had, and that limiting belief that I could really do this at a really big level.
So when you were talking with people, were you afraid they were actually going to say yes, or were you afraid they were going to say no, or was it both? You mentioned the fear.
Both, but I think the biggest fear I had was of them saying no, and just questioning myself. Why are they saying no? It was like, what is wrong with me? Why are they saying no? Why can't they see?
Yes. Why are they saying no? Because you know they need it, right?
Exactly.
You know they want it. And they just won't do it, and you're afraid. Okay, so you dealt with some hurt that you had been experiencing. You thought it was resolved years ago, and apparently it was just coming up as you're trying to move forward, right?
Right.
Wow. Well,
rose oil has been the oil that I hated. I hated it. And I had earned it a couple of years ago, and I thought, what am I ever going to use this for? And my mentor suggested a blend for me, and, of course, the first oil in it was rose. And it just helped me search within myself and dig in all those emotions that I've been suppressing and to let them go and learn more about me and how I can help other people learn about themselves and grow and let go.
Wanda, thank you so much for being so vulnerable. I know that there's this, anytime any of us are trying to hit the next rank or have the next step of success in anything that we're doing, and doTERRA fits into this category, that we will come up among all of these things that we thought we were ready for. We thought we were over. We thought it was fine. We thought it was good. And then we realized there's a lot of work that is left to do. And so sometimes we can get through that quickly, and sometimes it takes us a year or 2 or 5. And so the oils, like you were saying, the oils can help us to move through things so much faster. And how wonderful that we have that. So, Wanda, I know that this last year has been a challenging one and a beautiful one and a discovering year. And you will be silver. You will. You will reach your goal. You will. I believe. I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you. I believe in you.
Okay, we have another hand raised. The last 4 digits of the phone number is 3679 with the area code 208. What is your name and what is your share?
My name is Sarah Croy, and I am going for silver.
Awesome. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What is it?
Sarah Croy.
Okay. Sarah, you are going for silver. Congratulations.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yes. So is there anything you'd like to add for that? I mean, tell me, you're going for silver for leadership retreat. How long have you been in doTERRA?
It will be 3 years next month.
Okay.
And I want to be at leadership so bad. Like, I dream about it. I I can taste it. I want to be there so bad. And if I make it, I'm going to be a baby silver to get there, but I just want to be able to spend that time with everybody that has already gone before me and just take it all in.
Awesome. That is so awesome. Okay. So you want to be silver. You've been doing this for 3 years. You feel like you're totally ready. So when's the first time you set the goal? When's the first time that you said, I want to be silver?
Well, I've said I want to grow a business, but it wasn't really until August I kind of had an epiphany, because I started in doTERRA, and then immediately after, without intending to, I started another business that tied in with oils, and that sucked up my time for the last 2.5 years. With all of my time and effort and money was going into that. And in August, I just had a week where I had to work a massive amount of time for this other business, and I was like, you know what? If I spent this many hours doing doTERRA, things would totally explode for my doTERRA business. And I kind of felt like it was a God thing where he was trying to get me to see it, but I just wasn't ready, because it was a pride thing of, look at what I did, and I created this business and people like my stuff, and I had to let that go. And since I did, I was stuck at Elite for 2 years, just couldn't seem to get out of it. And when I let that go, in November, I hit Premier. So I just had to get all in, and so now I feel like I can actually do it.
So you had to let go, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had to let go of the idea of being committed to moving. you had to channel in on and focus. Is that correct?
Yes. My time was divided, and my attention was divided, and it was like God just told me, he's like, you can't do both well. You have to choose. And I know the potential that is there with doTERRA versus a traditional business model. And so it wasn't even a hard choice, but I just hadn't been ready.
Mm-hmm. So we were talking with Wanda. She had to let go of some emotions. Were there emotions tied to that as well? Or was it just like, oh, duh? Or like...
No, it was very much an emotional thing because I had so much self-confidence and pride that I had built up. So on one hand, I'm glad I did it because it that other business pushed me out of my comfort zone and pushed me in front of other business owners that I wouldn't have had the confidence to interact with prior to that because, I was just mom and I was, just all these things, those kind of thoughts in my head. So it taught me a lot, but it was very much a pride and just that I needed that, pat on the back kind of thing. And that's what I really got from the other business.
Wow. So being able to let go of that feeling of needing to be important?
Yeah, and needing to be acknowledged and because I don't need it. I'm not so desperate that I need that anymore. I'm in such a better place emotionally that I know I'm doing good with doTERRA, even if nobody else tells me, hey, you're doing awesome. We love what you're doing. I already know I am because I see what it's doing for people. So I don't need that. I can let that go and just move forward.
This is very cool. Thank you so much for sharing all of that, Sarah, and for being so vulnerable. I believe in you that you are silver. I believe you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness, Kristen, these women are so amazing. I'm loving this so much.
Yes.
Is there anyone else that wants to publicly verbalize that they are going for their goal this month within the next week and a half to go to leadership? Anyone else?
Yes, we have Cathy Baker.
Okay, go Cathy.
Hey. I was not aware of leadership until this month. Jessica had texted me. She's like, girl, I want you at leadership. We've got to get to leadership. I'm like, wait, what? Leadership? What? Oh, man. And then I realized I had to reach silver. And silver is 3 legs at executive, And I'm like, okay, well, I came across my builders. I've got 4 builders and then a holder leg. I've got 2 that are kind of like limbo, kind of trying to get, I don't know. They're just finding their time and space with it, which is fine. Nourish them where they're at. And then I've got 2 that are rocking and rolling and ready to go. But this is like their first month with it. And I'm like, man, I want silver. I have to hit silver. I've accepted the fact that it's going to take a miracle, but I know miracles can happen. But I definitely had some blocks that I just broke through at 1 o'clock this morning. And I feel fired and go that I know a miracle could happen, but it legitimately is going to take a miracle because there's not even close to 3,000 OV in each of these legs. But there could be. All I would need is 1 diamond kit in 1 leg and a couple other things in the others. But man, I would love to go. I would love to be surrounded by all these people that have wanted it and reached it and got it. And then just, I know it would be a vacation of, convention, but somewhere tropical.
That's awesome. Janet, are you there?
Yes, I'm so here. Cathy, I love you. That is so cool. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else with their hands raised that likes to discuss?
Yeah, we have We have two more. We have Kristen York coming to you, and then we have one more, and I don't have a name on that. So go ahead, Kristen.
Oh, Kristen.
Sorry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm also among the group who is reaching and searching for silver. I have been at Premier for about 2.5 years. So for me, I have desperately wanted to go to leadership for so long and have felt so such a drive to get there. And one of my biggest limiting beliefs that I've had to let go of is actually the past. Because I've been at this rank for so long, I've had to release the fact that it's okay that it's taken me this long and be okay with where I'm at and where my team is, because really we're actually in a really beautiful place right now and so many amazing things have happened, and I am just loving who I'm working with so much. Very, very dear people to me who have helped me and built me up so much. And I know that all of this has happened the way it's supposed to, but I've had to really let go of kind of my own disappointment in myself with it taking so long. That's where I'm at, and I'm really excited for all of the energy that's here with people reaching for their goals and being able to push through and make these changes. And I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude with how the oils do affect on an emotional level, because that has revolutionized my world since learning from Desiree and then learning from Janet and learning from Melissa and all of the beautiful people here that teach so much on that level. So I'm excited to keep going forward.
Kristen, my Kristen York, you're my girl. I need to tell you a few things, if that's okay.
Please.
You must do this. You must. And I'm coming from a little, I just have this in my heart. I have to tell you, it's time. And I told this to one of my builders the other day too. There's something special about who you are, about your voice, and about what projects out. Kristen is the same way. When she hit her goal, it sent out this, when Kristen Fox hit, it was funny, Kristen York, Kristen Fox. And Kristen, I'm going to have you talk a little bit more about this in a bit, but when she hit her goal for the first time, because of who she is, both of you, you have powerful voices, you have powerful smiles, you have powerful love that projects out the whole world. And when you accomplish something, people believe that it's possible for them to do it too. You have that gift, you have that power. It must happen this month, and I'm going to ask you to send your goal to God too, if that's okay for me to say, your higher power, however you want to say that, because you're a David and Goliath, and if you do this, you will inspire so many people. And so it's not just you that you're going to be helping by hitting this goal. You need to know that, and I feel really strongly you need to, if that's okay.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Janet. I love that, and I definitely will send this to God, because it will take some miracle, but I know that it can happen. I know that there is so much good out there. So I so appreciate you speaking that to me. I really received that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And can you put some wild orange on your forearm, please? Because this is happening, my friend. Thank you. Okay, Kristen, one more person, right?
Yes, we have, it's a 219 area code with the last four digits 0849. And coming to you, what is your name and what rank are you headed for?
My name is Rachel, and I am heading for silver, just like all the other people. I'm super nervous to talk. So
we're so glad you're sharing.
Lavender on. So yeah, so I'm ready. I'm excited. But yeah, I've been in doTERRA now for over 2 years, and I have been, like, from the moment I saw my first class, I just knew that this was meant for me, that I had a calling in it, and I knew that this was for me. But just like everyone else, I just had a lot of things that I had to work through, in order to really make this happen. And for me, I noticed it was a lot of distractions. Like I was a full-time student when I started. And so it was just a constant battle of like me putting just ridiculous goals above my business, And then I even took a job because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. Like I felt, I prayed on it. I really felt like I was supposed to take this job. And then 3 months later, I just had this epiphany, like this moment where I just felt God was telling me, okay, now quit your job. And I was like, this makes zero sense on why I would be told to take a job just to quit it 3 months later. But for me, I just felt like it was this, it just provided so much clarity. Like I was doing this job where I felt respected and I felt, it was just such a great thing, but it was not what I was meant to do. And so, I quit and then was completely freaked out because I was totally reliant on doTERRA. And at this point I was a barely premier, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. My husband is deployed. I have 2 little kids, but I just decided that it was time. And I felt like God has just came through in so many things, like in just putting my trust in him and just putting like, okay, all right, I give up control. I'll just see where this takes me. And it's been amazing. Like people have been showing up. People have been responding to the call for business. And so this month I started out with just a handful of, I had a couple solid builders, but not enough to really get to silver. But by the end of the month, it is happening. And so it's been just an amazing transformation.
Oh, my goodness. So beautiful. Thank you. Okay, you ladies, every single one of you that has spoken, we're right up at the half hour. I want you all to take out a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to write your goal on your piece of paper, and then I want you to get your numbers of how far you are away in each of your legs. And then you find me on Facebook and message me those numbers. And as you get close, I'm going to have a special space in my Facebook Messenger for you ladies so that I can be able to, when you make an enrollment, when that number grows and you get closer and closer to your goal, message that to me. And when you accomplish your goal at the end of this month, you send me a message and your address, and I'm going to send you something. Because you ladies right here are the Kristens of the EDGE team. You are going to be the ones that inspire the rest of us for the rest of the year that miracles are possible and that we can do it. Okay? So can you do that for me? Janet Marquez. All right.
Hey,
we're going to
Janet,
take a little turn here. Go ahead.
We have Mary Fitzy. Would you like to hear what she has to say, or would you like to?
Yes, Mary. Yep. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay.
Guys, I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who stepped up to be vulnerable enough to talk to us about their struggles and about, your goals and everything. I mean, that's the first step, I think. And just realizing that you are on the right path and that you've got a team of people just behind you and cheering you on. I mean, I just heard from my leader, Rachel, on my team, and I've just seen how she's blossomed over the past year. And I just know that she's going to reach her goal very soon here. And even her team is raising up and reaching out and being vulnerable themselves enough to help her to get to her goal. And it's just so beautiful. We have inspired others to help others during their time of need and pushing towards a goal. I mean, how amazing is this? This is a new generation, a new wave of energy, positive energy towards others, like unconditional love. No jealousy, just there to support others. I just wanted to say thank you for those people who haven't hit their ranks yet, but haven't given up and are fighting to get there. And I'm telling you, once you get to that goal and reach the top, like there's going to be so many people grabbing your hand along the way and pushing you up and just patting you on the back. So I just can't wait to hear these good positive testimonials before leadership. I can't wait to see you guys there.
Yay! Thank you so much, Mary. And I'm gonna second what you say and get your opinion as well. Isn't it so fun to be in the position? I mean, we know how it felt the first time we went to leadership, right, Mary? And to now look back and see and feel this is really what it's all about. I feel like it's even more fun to inspire people to do the same as it even was when I did it. Don't you think?
Oh my gosh, it's 10 times better. It's great when you get there, but when you get other people, to see that light and then also to, pat them along the way. I feel like a proud mother of a huge team. You guys just make me so proud. And I'm not just saying my team, but I'm just saying the whole Ed team in itself. We are amazing people.
Yes, we truly are. We are family, and I love that. And so I'm going to switch gears. Mary, that was perfect to switch gears here because now we have a whole group of people that are like, is it possible? I would like that. I actually really would like that because this is the point. When you have a week and a half left to accomplish a goal, this is the point where the brain goes, ooh, is it going to be worth it for me to really believe, really push myself to the next level and go for this, or should I just I'll get it next month. It's not that. And I feel like we've really set the stage here that no, it really is that important. It really is that cool for you to take this next week and really go for it. Dream big, hope, knowing that it's possible that you might be disappointed, but that the hope is worth it. So with that being said, I really want to fill these ladies and everyone else even that didn't comment with full of knowledge and full of experiences, because really what it comes down to is the work and the faith to do the work to receive the miracle. And that's what I want to build here. So starting with Kristen. Kristen, can you please give these ladies some advice? Tell your story, how it was, so that they can build the evidence to know that it's possible. What could it possibly look like for them based on what your story was the first time you, or any time that you set a goal, went for it, accomplished it? Go ahead, Kristen.
Well, it was a long time ago, but at least that first time, and I'm trying to remember all of the workings of how that all went. And as we're talking, I'm remembering really key elements. I remember just a few months. Oh gosh, I'd probably been going for platinum for 2 or 3 years, looking at pretty close to that, yeah. I think I had been in doTERRA for right about 3 years, and I had gone silver and gold within about 18 months. And I was on this track to just keep going fast. All right, diamond, blue diamond, let's go, And just like all these other ladies, I came up against all kinds of things, and I realized that I was acting as a victim of circumstance. And Nathan and I were taking a financial class with a dear friend, and he was working on and was close to a net worth of $1 million, and we knew that we could trust him. We knew that just morally we could trust him. We knew ethically we could trust him, and as a friend we could trust him. And so he asked us to read this book, and we were in a group with 2 other couples. It was just a really small, intimate finance class. And he asked us to read this book about the jackrabbit factor. And during the reading of that book, Nathan and I were reading that, we realized, so Leslie Householder is the author, and we realized that her writing this, it felt like we were reading our story of our life and the desires that we had in our hearts. And I don't know if any of you have had that experience as you've been reading books, but you're like, oh my gosh, that's me. And so watching this guy go through these steps and achieve success, we knew with a surety and with the knowledge that if we just keep applying these principles, that we were this guy in this story. And so it was a realization that over the last 6 months, I had several instances where my upline were helping me, and I was, getting mentored left and right, and I was just like, come on, I really need to do this. And, they had been saying for, years now, like, you need to hit this. You need to hit diamond. Like, you need to keep going. You need to pursue this. You need to show your team that this is possible. Your team hitting silver, everybody across the board, that would be amazing and powerful, and they deserve it, and you deserve it. And I'm just like, oh. And I just felt like I should have hit it, like so many months before. And a pattern that I realized was that I would get close to the end of the month, right about the 21st, 22nd, and I would go, and for sure by the 25th, which is today, right, I would go, not going to happen. 6 days left? Yeah, right. Like, all right, scratch that, plan for the next one. And Jen and I were on the phone, and she said, plan that it happens no matter what. Don't worry about what you think is possible, because knowing that the impossible can happen, believing that the impossible can happen, is the ammunition to get you to where you need to go. And I was asking Janet, I remember when she hit platinum, which is what inspired me to hit platinum. I watched her. She had an amazing fire, and she said, I didn't care that the numbers didn't add up close to the end of the month. I didn't care. I just knew that it could happen. I knew that it could, and that's when it did. And so here we were. It was the very last night. It was the 31st. I had just come back from a class. One person came. They didn't purchase. It was just like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. And I still needed about 500 in that leg, and then I needed close to 2,000 in another leg. It's 9:30 at night. I'm in Kansas. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how this is going to happen. And so I'm on the phone with all the upline. They're texting me, how's the night going? How's it going? And I'm like, it's good. It's good. And I had a few orders that I needed to put in, but it just was not enough. And by about 10 o'clock, I still had 1,800 TV left. So a few things had kind of aligned. Those enrollments had kind of finished up. And I had a lady call me at about, it was almost 11. And she just said, hey, I was just wondering if it's okay. I need to place an order. I mean, this happened 3 different times all on the same night. And all very, very late at night. And people were calling me, and they were saying, hey, you were trying to get a hold of me last week, but I just couldn't, sorry, is this an okay time, or should we do it tomorrow? And I'm like, no, this is fine. Everything's perfect. Yes, what do you need? And this lady, she just bought hundreds of dollars of deep blue and frankincense. I was just like, okay, perfect. Oh, and DDR Prime. She needed those 3, and she needed multiples of it. And so that got a huge chunk of it. And then another person in another leg, she had some enrollments that filled in under Rebecca, and that filled in an elite leg there, and it happened in one other leg, just very similarly, just miraculously in the right timing. And it was a miracle. And we were right up against midnight, and I was putting in orders, and I was hurrying with credit cards, and oh my gosh, I forgot your 3 digits on the back of your card, and then texting people, and it's 11:52, and I was sitting there with my sister-in-law and my baby, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. And it was nothing that I could have planned beforehand. And I know that some people can. Some people are able to do that, and they have that kind of order. But for me, it was so far-reaching that there was no way that I could have looked at that beforehand and said, yes, this is going to happen tonight. But I just believed that it was possible. And I remembered being that guy in the book, knowing that he was catching a rabbit, and that I was catching a rabbit, and that this was going to happen. And I have to say, my husband and I were so like, we had come up against a lot of interesting things in our relationship, which was very interesting, but we had worked through those, and things were very clear, like very seamless, and really there was a lot of really good energy between the two of us. And what he was doing, what I was doing, wasn't even necessarily geared towards specifically enrolling in doTERRA, but it was just where we were in our life. And it was really cool. So he was encouraging me and being supportive, and my upline were being supportive. And so in the moments that I started to doubt, he would just be like, you got this. Like, you got this. And he was just like that solid rock, you know. And my upline were too. And so, anyway, so I just relived that. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Janet.
Kristen, thank you so much. Okay, who's next? Any of our platinum diamonds, blue diamonds on the call, can you tell us about an experience of what it was like to set a goal and then the moment that the goal was accomplished and what happened in the in-between? You're building faith here, building evidence.
Some of you are unmuted, so if you have a thought and a feeling and you're in a space to share, we would really love to hear what you have to say. Oh, Christy Feiker, yes, you are unmuted. Please, what would you like to say?
Hi, this is Christy Feiker.
Hi, Christy. We're so glad you're here.
Hi. Aw. So my story, it is very similar to the last story of having the goal. Our goal was like the most significant that I remember that was the most recent goal was Diamond, and it was we were a ways away from it on the last day of the month, and I remember I even was like taking care of my baby like the whole day pretty much, and had nap time to get my work done that day. And I remember sitting there with him, and the phone rang, which is sometimes hard when you have a baby on you, but I answered, and it was someone calling actually about chiropractic care, which was so random because people don't usually call my cell phone about chiropractic care with my husband. And we talked a little bit about that, and then I just stayed on the phone with her, and I asked her what she knew about essential oils, and it led into a really big a big volume, and that was just one of the like many events that unfolded that day, and then like late into the evening of energy that was just coming in that I like completely had no like clear. I had never called them. I didn't even know how they got my number and got in touch with me. It was just like all related to my intention and my goal and my trusting that it was going to happen, and that energy of not giving up, but just being open to wherever it was going to come from and however it's going to happen. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love to hear that we are not alone in the awesomeness, and that how cool it is that you just have to have no idea that there's a way that this goal is actually going to happen. But I love what you said about how you were just open, you were just ready and willing to receive. And I think that's a very interesting place to be, because I've had times where I'm receiving all this amazing stuff, and I literally, it's like a huge upper limit, and I don't know what to do with it. And so I immediately do what the autopilot of a human is, which is to push it away, to get frustrated, upset, confused, and to go, no. But you sat there in that phone call instead of being frustrated that you're trying to use chiropractic, and you knew that this is an opportunity, and you're able to receive that. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Christy.
Yeah.
Okay, we have, Jenna, is that you? Okay. I have Bernie Marquez and Alonto Mangan-Doug. So we'll go Bernie first and then Alonto.
Hi, Kristen. Bernie Marquez is me. I'm on Bernie's line. But so go ahead to Alonto.
Okay, awesome. Alonto, go ahead.
Well, the story that I wanted to share with everyone was a story that Kristen was talking about when it comes to like the last minute aspect of it. So this is the story where we reached Diamond in, I think it was like August of 2014. I think it was. And this was like the weekend that of my birthday, so like August 22nd, and Rod had like come into town, and we were like barely gold, I think, at this point, and did a bunch of training, did a bunch of really amazing stuff. And one of the things that we did, or that he made us do, was that affirmation, or standing in front of the room and stating, like, on or before, like 90 days from now, I am like Diamond, or something like that. And me and my wife actually stood in that space, and this was literally like a week left in August, and we were barely gold. And I was like, okay, what do we want to state as far as our goal for like the next 90 days? And I was like, felt so certain in like my core and my spirit that I said on or before, this was like August, so it was like September, October, November, on or before November 30th, 2014, we are Diamond. And it was so funny because like Desiree was like up there with me, and she was like, baby, I don't know if that's like, I'm comfortable with that. Like maybe platinum is a good thing to go for, but well, I'm sure we're Diamond. I'm sure that this is gonna happen. And really like fast forward to like a week after. So this was like an intention that we had put out. This was like a goal that we verbalized, and I was looking at the numbers, and literally like our fourth leg like came on within like a week. Our one of our mainline leaders, who was actually like a first enrollment in our organization, Debbie Oles, literally went silver that month. Like went from like not building to like silver in a month, which is like amazing. And we were able to go from like gold to Diamond in a span of like a week of just like really feeling it. And I love the Jackrabbit factor also. And one of the things that Leslie Householder like focuses on is feeling the state that you're going to be when you receive like the gift, or when you achieve the goal. Because when you put yourself in that space, that actually is the thing that tracks the resources, the people, the things that you need to actualize the goal in hand. And that's where like the secret, like the law of vibration comes in, is that whatever vibration that you're on, whatever you're feeling, you attract those types of things. And this was something that we experienced when it comes to our journey to Diamond. And it's the same with Blue, and also in our goal for presidential. So we are presidential on or before March 31st, 2017.
Thank you, Alonto. You are like the belief man specialist. You are. Thank you so much. you've instilled so much belief into me and my husband and this entire team by what you share. So thank you so much for your words. Alonso and Desiree are some of the fastest moving rank advancers on the EDGE team. And so if you had any feeling at all when Alonso was speaking, just know that it's coming from real, true experience, and that he's a man to watch and to emulate. So thank you so much, Alonso. Okay. Anybody else? Let's see. Anybody else had a rank advancement where they would like to share their experience? Either raise your hand if your line is currently muted. Some of you are
Kristen, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Janet, go ahead.
Okay. So with the last little bit of the call, if there's no one else that no one else that wants to share their story, I do want to point out that I hope you guys recognize in all three of those stories that were told by Alonso and Christy and Kristen, that there was at every moment there was a point of, holy cow, this is not possible, where things fell through. My story is the same if I were to tell it. There was that moment where it's like, this class canceled, or this happened, or this didn't happen. I thought this was going to be the thing, and it didn't happen. And then you have a choice at that point. Just be conscious of this. You have a choice at that point to do what Alonso did, and to tap into your belief. And it's that moment where you're able to say, I believe without a doubt that this can happen and will happen. And even if it doesn't, I will still believe past. I will still believe on. And it's worth it to do all that is going to be asked of me to do. So this last little bit, there is an actual spaces on energy points, or you can acupuncture points or reflex points on the body, you can call any of those you like to call, where this belief triangle sits in our body. The first one is on our thymus. This is where there's an actual, if you apply oils on your thymus or on your heart space right there, it's an energy field. And it resides there, cultivation and faith, the ability to really, truly, hope for things and to believe that it's possible that it could happen. And it fuels the fire to move on down into your spleen area, that area on your body that holds the work that it's going to take to do to be obedient, the letting go of old things and moving on to the new, all of that is the things that you actually do to accomplish your goal. And then on over to your liver is the space where the miracle actually happens. It happens, which then builds the faith even more. And there's an energy field that moves, just like that. And if you apply oils here, it's really powerful to help build that because of the energy of the oils themselves. So I'm going to ask you guys to take this moment. If you are one of those on the call that are listening to these stories that are truly read the Jackrabbit Factor. I highly recommend that, because in order to do this thing, you're going to have to push your mind and your heart past the point of the place that most people say it's not worth it. I give up. It's impossible. And you're going to say it's worth it. I'm here, and it's possible. And this is man's biggest fear is disappointment, and that is why we back off and we say it's impossible. And so you're going to be stepping into the face of that biggest fear of disappointment or failure and what it does to you. Then we're going to rock it. We're going to do awesome. So we're going to apply on our heart space. We're going to put myrrh essential oil right there. Myrrh. And then on your spleen, on your left side, we're going to apply oregano. Please dilute that, oregano. And then on your right side, we are going to apply Melissa. If you do not have Melissa, do lemongrass and and Wild Orange, but I really, really do prefer the Melissa. And then you're going to come back up to your heart space and apply. If you have rose, do rose. If you have geranium, do geranium. And I want you to feel, really breathe this in and breathe in the possibilities, because you're going to be waking up energy in these really crucial places. And then you should get an idea of what to do next. Clear the mind and then go forward, knowing that all things are possible and that no matter what happens, you will learn, you will grow. You bring it. You do it so you can bring it. That's a Kirk Duncan line. So that's what I would suggest for all of you on this call that are working towards that goal for leadership, and I highly suggest doing it. Kristen, is there anything that you would like to add, or that anyone else would like to add before we close this out? We have a few minutes. We have about 4 minutes.
Let me look for any other raised hands. There was something that you said that jarred a memory, a really good memory, which was so that at the point in my story where I was driving home after the class where there were no enrollments and one person came, and I was on the phone with you, Janet, and you said, okay, so now what? So now what? And I said, it's all the same. The feelings that I have right now, I'm going to keep with me, and I will continue doing the same thing next month. This is not the space that I had always been in previously. There was definitely another time in another space where I was just like a give up mode, go cry mode, be sad, sorry for myself, I suck, this doesn't work. And what Alonzo was talking about was that those positive emotions of belief it's pretty much the law of attraction. You attract those things. So if you go into that space of rejecting yourself and the work that you have done up to that point, everything that was on its way to you is now going to be going from you. And I almost feel like in that moment of feeling, that was something that Nathan, my husband, had been telling me the whole time, Kristen, it's okay if we don't get it this month, because we're just going to be doing the same thing every other month forever until we reach it. And it was almost that commitment to that goal that I feel allowed us to receive it in that moment, that night, before we went to bed that night. So,
yes, I agree, Kristen.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So is it possible that you're going to feel these feelings? Yes, you are. They're going to come to you. And you have the choice. You are not victim to the circumstance of failure. You don't have to be that one. So anyway.
And it's so wise of you, Kristen. And I will just add in that if you're planning on going for this goal, be prepared that you're going to have to face that greatest fear of disappointment, probably here in the journey. And if you can do what Kristen did, where you don't say, oh, well, I give up, this is too hard, why did I even try, and go to a negative space and push it away, if you can conquer it in the same way that Kristen did, be prepared for huge growth and it to be exactly what you needed this month to get you either there this month or there very soon after. And I believe this month. So I agree 100%. Don't be afraid of disappointment. If you're feeling that disappointment, put these oils on those exact spaces, and let's do this. I love you all, and I believe in you. Love you guys.